Hello YouTube and the Tribe of the Horror Realm. This is a response video to ChillPilgrim1138. He's doing a contest. Just wanted to show a little support because this topic, his challenge to his contest, is a really cool idea that I've never seen done on YouTube or in the YouTube community. And he wants to know our movie history, how we got involved in collecting, and what was the impetus and kind of why we do it and such, which is really cool. I guess each person has their own little tale, and like any collector, we all remember key elements that got us to where we are now. So like some of them, I go back a number of years. I grew up watching a lot of the old creature feature movies, so I was highly influenced by films like Dracula and Frankenstein, the Wolfman, all of the Universals and the Hammer films, the AIP pictures, and then I get to go to movies here or there. Surprisingly, when I was a little kid, I got taken to see the movie Jaws, which just had such an impact on me. I got to see stuff in the drive-in theaters back in the day. But when the advent of home video came about and the VHS, my parents actually bought a VHS player and a new TV, a console TV. Anyone that's not familiar with console TVs, they were these huge, monstrous things that were the size of like a dresser, and that was your TV because it had a tube and all that. They paid at the time, in the early 80s, I think $450 for a state-of-the-art TV. They also paid $450 for a top-loading VHS player. Now, if you know what VHS players go for near the end of their era, it's pretty surprising that they sold for about the same price as a television set. Now, early on, we also had what was the precursor to cable TV, which was what they called Starcase, or just Star. And, you just paid for a signal, and they played movies all the time. So when they had something cool that was playing, and you got a little like guidebook to tell you when a movie was being played, we would buy the blank VHS tapes, and I would end up taping them off TV. So my initial movie collection was actually just blank VHS tapes that I would tape favorite movies on. And of course, back then I did them in EP, so they would have like 3 movies on a tape, and the condition, of course, of that quality wasn't going to be there. But I would get all the Godzilla movies when they played on Creature Feature, on Star or something like that. I would record movies that I really liked. So my initial collection was all just copied films. When we got to renting from VHS stores, I would get to watch them through that, and occasionally they would decide to sell off part of their collection. I started to actually buy movies from them, and this was actually one of the first movies that I actually bought used from a video store, and that's this copy of Hellraiser. Fortunately, it's a cut box Hellraiser, but it was pretty cool to be able to have it and play whenever I wanted to. And I actually had this signed years later by Doug Bradley, but I actually kept this because it was one of the earliest VHS that I had. And then I amassed a collection that was enormous. My best friend was a movie collector as well, and he did the same thing, and we were in competition over whose was bigger. Talk about 2 guys compensating. And he had this huge VHS collection, and then when DVD came along, I finally decided to make the swing, and a lot of people that I've seen, it was through the PlayStation 2. I bought a PlayStation 2 and that could play DVDs, so I was able to get my first DVD. And the first DVD I bought was this one. I still have it, John Carpenter's The Thing. And I bought this at Newbury Comics. I had a gift certificate, and then I just paid the difference. And this was, when it came out, a whopping $34.99. So, and that started rolling from there. So no, believe it or not, Halloween was not my first DVD. So we started renting them through Netflix, what have you, and then when they showed up used, I would buy them, like at a great price for like $9.99 at the time when they finally started doing used DVDs was a pretty good price. Now that's like a lot of new releases come out at that, and you expect used to be even less than that. But I started to amass a DVD collection. My best friend did the same thing. He started collecting. We weeded out our VHS because they were so big and cumbersome. I got rid of a lot of them, and believe it or not, a good portion of them just got junked. And I actually regret it now because VHS is kind of becoming the vinyl of its media. So we both started doing the VHS DVD now, and this time around mine was bigger than his. And I amassed this huge collection. Then I got divorced, and my collection got chopped down dramatically. I'm still to this day finding stuff out that I don't own that my ex-wife kept, but I didn't realize it. So I had to buy back a bunch of the collection that I wanted, but I also decided to fine-tune it. We had a wide variety of mainstream and horror and this, that, and I decided I was just going to try to be more selective of what I liked. So I figured I know enough people. If I really wanted to see a copy of, I don't know, some mainstream title, if I decide I want to watch, Independence Day or something, I know enough people, so I don't have to own that. So I don't generally go for mainstream stuff. So I stick strictly to, majority of it is all horror. I have a lot of cult films, westerns, martial arts, just oddball stuff that I'm not going to find just anywhere. I'm sure I could go and borrow Scarface from my friend, or I could find it anywhere if I really wanted it. So I don't need the copy, but to get something like a copy of Scum or Fight for Your Life, that's not something you're going to run into everywhere. So I tailor my collection now to that. So it's a lot more eclectic stuff. My friends that do collect like to mock me, saying that I get overexcited over B-rated or Z-rated or C-rated, whatever they want to say. But it's just what I particularly like, and it's always cool that you run into someone on YouTube that happens to have the same film. It's like, see, I wasn't the only person that bought that. So anyways, that's where it stands. That's my collecting history. I have way too many DVDs. I think I rationaled it out one time, like factoring if I watched a movie every day without missing a beat, it was over something like, at the time, like over 5 years before I would get back to the original movie. So it's like JR said, it could be hoarding, but we like to have what we have, and it's something I like to do. Believe me, relatives come over and they want to see the collection. They look at the stuff and they're kind of appalled because they don't like horror, and they're not going to have any idea what half of this stuff is. Invasion of the Blood Farmers. They're never going to know what that is. So that's my story. Thanks for putting out a great challenge. And like I had mentioned to you, I wasn't an original subscriber. You don't necessarily have to put me in your contest. but just want to show some support and get in on being able to talk, because I love to talk, don't I?
Yes, you do, honey.
So thank you very much. Bye-bye.